Casimir, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. I thought we should just start a bit early, let people join, make sure everything's working properly. But hello, Casimir, how have you been? Can you hear me completely fine? Like, is the mic working well? Yes, it is. Awesome. Oh, I see that there's literally 4 people in the voice chat right now. They must be playing friendlies or something. Surely they join in a second. Hey, what up, Shinx and Siren? Hello. Wait, do I pronounce your name Shinx? Or how do I pronounce it? Welcome, guys. I'm so excited. We'll let people come in for it for a while. I've been trying to not spot dodging games. It's really hard not too low. I knew it was a habit. I actually called it, hey Casimir, on the first 5 seconds of your VOD. I called it. I was like, that was a weird spot to press that. And then it just kept happening. Oh, like the Pokemon Shinx? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about actually. Welcome, KT. Please let me know, guys, if I have pronounced any of your names incorrectly. KT, Clarity. Respect that you guys are red shy guys. My problem is when someone spot dodges, I whiff grab. Okay, that's probably a lot to do with your timing then. But yeah, feel free to post if you guys haven't yet a VOD in the analysis section of the Discord. And then I can help you with like more specific stuff. But my guess on you saying that, KT, is that someone spot dodges, you whiff grab. That means that you probably have very obvious timings of when you're about to approach, and then they can time it like perfectly to spot dodge you. 1 month, right? I'm gonna be here for a month. Hope you'll help. Yes, it is an entire month. So 4 lectures and a bunch of time in the Discord, a bunch of time to post VODs to get analyzed. I will help. I will do my best. I will do my best to help. I think it's probably because I'm greedy and like spot dodging to get a free up tilt combo starter. Yeah, that's why any habit forms, right? Any habit ever forms is because it's worked like once, or it was fun, or like your brain was like, ooh, that was good. Like any habit ever is because it was good once, and then your brain's like, let's just keep going, baby. Like if you've ever gone on your phone and like just been scrolling, and you're like, oh, your brain's like, oh, that was fun, and then it becomes a habit, and then you do it even when you don't want to. So yeah, there's always a reason why a habit you have could be good, but it's only bad because it like you do it too much. I'm going to tournaments tomorrow and Saturday, gonna try and get on stream. Oh, Siren, that would be perfect. That would be so perfect. Bruh, that's too accurate from one comment. Is it? Yeah. Okay, guys. I feel like I'm good at knowing about the game. I feel like my knowledge and stuff is far beyond my actual ability to play the game, because that's when actual creating the habits of just putting in the time comes into things, which one day started to really focus on YouTube and other aspects I went away from. But in terms of my analytical knowledge and how much I can help people, I feel like it is extremely high personally, but we'll test it out. I wouldn't have made this whole thing if I wasn't really confident, but the proof is in the pudding, and I really appreciate you guys to trust me with that and be like the early adopters of this. And so as always, if there's things that you think I could be doing better or things I can help you with more, then please go in the member recommendation section of the Discord and let me know anything you want. My local has 3 streams every Friday, so I should have at least 1 new VOD each week. Oh, that's so perfect. That is so perfect. So you asked for sending videos and I didn't know how to on my Switch. Ooh, Dragoon, I'm not exactly sure on the specifics. Worst case scenario, you could always give me a replay. Oh no, that'd be pretty annoying actually. There's a way to convert your replays into videos, right, guys? Yeah, 3 streams is sick. Welcome everyone. Yeah, everyone's coming in. Yo, I'm so happy. Dude, I thought maybe one person would show up because I didn't know how everyone's time zones and everything would be like. This is so awesome. Has everyone left? Oh yeah, I saw there was 4 of you. Were you playing friendlies or something? Jim Bob and LDG and stuff. Yeah, upload them then use the. Oh, that sounds so annoying. I thought it was much easier than that. You were? That's so awesome. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, wait, let's quickly figure this out. Because I assume this might be a question that comes up a lot. Is what is the easiest way to get like a saved replay as a VOD? Is there an easy way that anyone knows to do it? Otherwise, you could just post the replay ID and I could look at it as the replay, but obviously that'll be extremely not extremely difficult, but far more difficult than like a YouTube video. Because you can never rewind, you know, in a replay, so you have to start, pause and play just constantly. I thought you would just record my. Oh, honestly, Dragoon. Okay, that's a far better way to do it. It sounds ghetto as hell to be recording your replay with your phone and put it into Discord. But that is actually so much better because then I can go backwards and forwards. Because otherwise, the way that replays work in Smash Bros, it's awful. Because you can never rewind and be like, oh, what was that happened? I have to watch the entire replay again. Recording with your phone's actually so legit. Let me turn on my fan, by the way. That is so legit, Dragoon. I love that idea. That's so smart. I think that's the best way everyone could do it if they don't have any other option. If you take a video and upload it online, it does post it on YouTube. You just have to check on the phone app. From my experience, to convert video, upload content, wait 5 minutes for Nintendo, then... Oh, okay. Either way, I really don't care if it's on your phone. I feel like you can, as long as your phone isn't like a potato, I'll still be able to see everything completely fine on your phone, and it will probably be quicker than doing the whole Smash Bros thing. Yeah, that's whack. Okay. Well, we should probably get into it. One second. Let me just make sure this. But yeah, is everyone ready to get into it? I would recommend potentially either getting like a Google Doc open or getting a piece of paper to write some stuff down on. I feel like, okay, I'll be extremely disappointed on myself if literally any of you in here have nothing to write down from this lecture. I feel like there'll at least be one thing, guaranteed, all of you could write down. In fact, actually, it would be really cool, and I feel like really motivating for everyone. If you do take any notes from this, we should post it somewhere in the Discord. Maybe we should have a channel for lecture notes. I feel like that'll really add to the motivation. We're talking motivation a lot in this lecture as well, by the way, so we'll go into that more. How am I? I'm good, Noah. So I want to ask, because I play Terry, and I want help against K-Rool. Easy enough to dodge Crown. I want help against K-Rool. Do you just mean in general Terry matchup versus King K-Rool advice? Or do you have any VODs? If you have VODs, I can give so much more advice. Dealing with super armor though is a timing thing as well. Like who was saying about the spot dodge thing? Was it KT, I think? Yeah, someone spot dodges and you miss grab. Super is probably a thing like that as well, where K-Rool is like got big kind of laggy, not actually that laggy moves, but it's just like if you time your move at the same time as them, it's gonna armor you and hit you. So you need to get better at that bait and punish game. We'll have an entire lecture on that. so don't worry. Lecture notes posting is a great idea for me personally. I'd have to type them up since my handwriting is awful. It's not even really the idea of everyone gets to read your notes specifically, but just the idea of everyone knowing that people are taking notes, I think is an amazing concept. Well, I have this good friend who plays him. He used to have an account with Elite Smash and sold it. But he is good. Better to send video. Yeah, much better to send videos. All right, guys. Let's get into how to get good as fast as possible. This is going to be like the fundamental kind of idea or like structure, or it's just going to be the fundamentals of how to get as good at Smash Bros as quickly as possible. In this lecture, in the other 3 this month, we will. In this lecture, we won't go into as much specific detail on like a specific matchup or like specifically ledge trapping or something like that. But this is going to be in general like tactics, strategies, ways to learn as fast as possible. So I wanted to do this first, so it's just a way to think about the game that will help you guys the most. Now, I probably do need to remove my camera because I've realized that I'm going to be covering up parts of the lecture. But maybe like I'll read a slide and bring my camera back. And feel free to ask as many questions as you guys want throughout the lecture. At the end, because I have like probably a couple hours or a bit less than a couple hours to be live right now before I have to actually go and do something. So at the end of the lecture on this topic, at the end we can just have like a Q&A about anything you guys want. But preferably while we're going through the slides, if you guys could keep it more so to stuff that is in the slides. So maybe if I talk about something and you want me to expand on it a bit more, or you don't quite get it, then I will answer those questions first. Now let's just get this easy one off the bat. I know this is super basic. A lot of you probably have a main already. But if you're going to get good at Smash Bros as fast as possible, you guys are going to need to choose a main. Like if you think about your amount of time that you can put into a character, if you're putting 100% of your time into one character, the only other option is, let's say you have 2 characters, now you're putting 50% of your time into 2 characters. So it immediately like kind of halves the potential you have with that character. Now, I know a lot of top players have more than one main. It's not extremely common, but a lot of players do. But I think they really succeed with that when they've put in so much effort with one character. In fact, let me get a good example. Hang on. I'll be right back. Any questions? Ask them now. I have a great example. Okay, let's say you're top player, right? This represents your time that you can invest in your character. It is much better if these are 2 characters. Top players do this. They'll go all in. Until this is like full and they've reached the potential with this character. And then when this is full, then they start working on a new character. But if instead you were going like a little bit on this one, a little bit on this one, a little bit... Do you understand how it's like slowly going to take you a lot longer to get good with one character? Does that make sense? Pick a top tier. That's definitely going to help. That's definitely true. I've always considered solo maining the best way to improve, so hearing this definitely motivating because struggling through difficult matchups feels like it makes you better overall. Yeah, exactly. Just like the best player in the world right now, Akola, pretty much main Steve. Pretty much main Steve. He's dived into other characters once he's gotten good. Or Mia. Mia's come out of nowhere with Game & Watch. Specifically Game & Watch. In Australia, Jay Dizzle is the best, and he's stuck it out with Young Link, and you just stick at it, and it's going to help you a lot more. The way I would go if you're at this point in your career, if you're at this point in Smash Bros and have still not picked a main, I personally feel like the best way to do it is to base it on what character you enjoy watching at top level. Because yeah, people say pick a top tier, but then you pick a top tier and you're like, this shit sucks. You like, oh, everyone's good, like Sonic's so broken. And so you go to play Sonic and you're like, I don't want to sit there camping. You know what I mean? So you want to be picking a character where you are happy to emulate the style that you need to have for top level play. But let's move on. I assume a lot of you have a main, but I just wanted to quickly cover that for all of you. Does anyone have quickly any questions on that, on mains? Akola went from unranked to #1 by the switch from Steve to Luigi. Yeah, 100%. But he like fully committed to the switch to Steve, right? It's not like he was playing Luigi and then a little bit of Steve. It's like he just went all in with the main of Steve. Don't try to play a character your way. You need to play a character that you can play with their style. What if you were to go from 100% of your time on one character to 100% on another? So you would then have two mains? Yeah, that's what I believe is the best way to do it. Like for like a personal example, when I had Ness, I used to main Ness, right? I was 100% in with Ness. But then the people in my scene who are second and third best had their characters that are really good against Ness. This isn't Smash 4, by the way, but like characters like Rosalina and Luma, Sheik, characters that were really good against Ness. So then when I was picking up a new character, I was like, I need to go 100% in with this character. I'm going to play Mario in tournaments. I'm going to get good with them. Because if you're a bit wishy-washy with it straight from the start, like, okay, I need to get good at the game, so let's pick Sonic, Steve, and Cloud, and let's work on them all together at the same time, you're gonna just slowly improve. Remember, this is for improving as fast as possible, is the entire idea of this lecture. You can definitely do it otherwise, but this is for speed of improvement. Okay. Focus on things that are effective at the expense of less important skills. There is so much to get good at in Smash Bros. But the tricky thing is there's not like a list of, oh, you should get good at this first, then get good at this, then get good at this. You can kind of pick anything you want. And so there are a lot of distractions, in my opinion, that are going to slow your progress down. For example, don't focus on a specific niche combo that gets you an extra 10% and it's going to take you hours and hours to learn because like this new technique just came out for your character. When your spacing is just awful. Now, the benefit of you guys being in the School of Smash is that the lectures are going to focus on what I believe are fundamentals first. Like the next lecture is going to be on risk versus reward. And so I think if you guys can take a good hard look at yourself in your VODs or send your VODs, when I'm going to be giving you advice, it's not going to be like, oh, you probably could have got an extra 7% if you did this in your combo to cover them SDIing left or whatever. It's like, you spot dodge way too much and people are going to punish you because you have a terrible habit, or your spacing is like just really bad in general. So you are going to want to focus on things like that first. Does that make sense? Let me bring my face back real quick. It does make sense. Okay, let me give you an example. Let me give you a specific example of, I don't know how many of you have actually been to tournaments, but you will run into this guy, and I want you guys to not be this guy. This is the classic stereotype, but there's a reason this stereotype's true. There's like, you run into this guy, right? And he goes 0-2, he goes 1-2 at tournaments. You play him and you beat him or you lose to him, and then he's like, oh yeah, I need to get better at this specific combo. The new combo came out. I really need to learn it with my character. And then it gets an extra 10% that covers SDI away. And then they know the movement speed of all the characters. They know different weights. And like, okay, I'm versing Pichu. So if I'm versing Pichu, then my combo should be more like this. And then, okay, and it's like that. And then you verse the best player at your local tournaments. You verse the number 1 seed. And you play them and you lose to them. And then you ask for advice from them. And they're like, you were jumping too much. So then I hit you because you were jumping. So I jumped and hit you in the air because you were jumping. And that sums up this entire slide. And that, I'm sure you guys have run into that. If you've gone to tournaments, please let me know if any of you have. But that is literally the entire concept summed up of like, there will be these like people who are kind of like technical geeks who get way too invested into that stuff and kind of distracted by it, when there's far more important fundamentals to focus on first. All right. Let's go to the next slide. I haven't been to tournaments yet, but I have seen people like that all the time online. Lol, seen this a lot. Yeah, and it's literally a thing where these people are just they're falling for like the traps. There's a joker in my region who does footstool gun stuff all the time. I guess this is how he doesn't just always win. Oh, yeah, okay. Kazmir has the perfect example then. Yeah, so you're saying there's a joker player in your region who literally can do the footstool gun stuff that MKLeo can't do very well. But is he like not amazing? He's not like the best player or something? Is that what you're saying, Kazmir? He's like 2-2er, 3-2er. Yeah, and it's like MKLeo isn't that good at the footstool gun stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, that sums up this perfectly. So if you guys want to improve fast, I would recommend not getting distracted by stuff like that and focusing on things like spacing, things like good movement, things like you have an awful habit where you jump from the ledge every time. Those are the things I would recommend first. All right, next slide. If you're going to get good really fast, you're going to need to immerse yourself in the learning. I'm asking you guys a question here. Who would you bet on being better at a language? Let's say Japanese. Who's going to be better at Japanese, right? Person A, they study Japanese twice a week for 3 years. They go to school. They have books on Japanese freaking language for 3 years. Or person B lives in Japan for 1 year and they speak with locals all the time. It's kind of obvious, right? It's kind of obvious when you put it like this. Person B for sure. Yeah, exactly. But they're spending a third of the time, right? They're literally spending 1/3 of the time, but they are just completely immersed in it. And so the same thing applies to Smash Bros. The person who like goes and like, maybe they do have a note. Maybe they have notes on how to get better and they just kind of go online and they practice every now and then. They silently go online, they grind it out, and then they're like, okay, cool, and then they turn it off. is gonna be nowhere near as good compared to you guys if you just literally immerse yourself in the idea of like learning and getting better at Smash Bros. Like when you play friendlies, guys, ask questions after literally every friendly. You know what I mean? Like talk about Smash Bros. Your brain is gonna like learn because it's what you are actually talking about. Like watch VODs if you've got time to chill. Watch a VOD of like a top player of your character. Your brain will just like subconsciously absorb some information like that. Like be in the Discord and talk about Smash Bros for fun. You know what I mean? Like enjoy it. Have fun when you're playing friendlies. Talk about the game as much as possible. Oh, what did you get me with there? What should I have done there? Oh yeah, that's good because of this. Like literally just talk about Smash Bros and think about Smash Bros is going to help you so much. Because even if, let's say you're on public transport, you're going somewhere and you're like, I might as well just think about, oh, I've been really struggling with this matchup. I suck versus Sheik. And then you're on the train, you kind of think about the matchup. It's going to help you so much. Zomba, I literally saw a tweet from Zomba, who, if you guys don't know, Zomba is a Rob player who won Genesis 6, the biggest Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament. He had a tweet. I only just am remembering this now, but he had a tweet where he talked about he doesn't actually play the game that much, but he thinks about it a lot. And it's far more valuable to just immerse yourself in kind of thinking and learning than just straight silently playing. And Zomba literally said that, and he won Genesis. So that is more proof. I only just thought of that, so I don't have the specific tweet, but I promise you that tweet is somewhere out there. So just think of this idea. Immerse yourself as much as possible. That is what the Discord is going to be amazing for. Ask questions, chat about Smash Bros, and your brain will hang on to all of it. Does that make sense to everyone? So, for example, when trying to learn a matchup, don't just keep rematching them on Elite over and over again. Rather, find someone to talk while playing to learn more from them. Yeah, that would be so much more helpful. Yeah, 100%. That's a great example. Like, rematching over and over is good if that's the best you've got. But it's like, let's say your friend plays Pikachu and you suck versus Pikachu. Talk to them about Pikachu. Play friendlies with them so you can talk to them about the matchup as well. But just think about the game, like, in your head. Like, be thinking about it when you can. Just stuff like that in general. Because everyone knows that this is true. Person B is going to be so much better. So just try and apply that concept. All right. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be an extremely important one. Which is that everything is a habit. People say that like there's a saying that people are creatures of habit, and that is a statement that people say so much that it's kind of lost its meaning. Like it's so true, but people just say it that it's lost its meaning. But if you guys think of the percentage of your life every day that you logically think about a moment before you do it, it's so low. It's so low. Like, we think that we think about everything, but we really don't. Everything is a habit. How many of you guys can drive in the chat? I don't know if you've ever done this, where you're driving home from somewhere and you were supposed to do something outside of the usual schedule. Like you were supposed to stop at the shops on the way home, or you were supposed to get off at a different exit, and you just don't. Your brain just doesn't do it, and you just completely miss it. It's because it sounds freaky, but you're actually not really thinking when you're driving. You just do it so much that your brain does it for you. Or if any of you have, it's happened to you before. Yeah, so this is an extremely important concept. How many of you just wake up and go on your phone? How many of you wake up and just go on your phone? Because I do it as well sometimes, but never ever do I wake up and want to logically be like, you know what is best for me today? I will get up and go on my phone. Like, you never think that, but your brain just does it because it's the habit, right? It's the habit. Or if you've ever moved house, you move house, all the drawers are different, there's cutlery in a different spot. You turn the wrong way. Like, you go to put your bowl in the microwave and you just turn the wrong way. And you're like, oh yeah, the microwave's here. It's because we actually don't logically think that much in a day. It's crazy to think about, but it's extremely important that almost everything you do is habit. Almost everything you do is habit and muscle memory. Yeah, exactly right, Clarity. Oh, you've just joined. I'm just going to keep going with the lecture, Sammy G, and you'll be able to go back with the VOD and miss the get the main points you've missed. Yeah, knowing where the light switch is, everything like that. That's extremely important. In Smash Bros, the way this applies to Smash Bros is that pretty much everything that you do wrong with your gameplay, it's going to be a habit. Which is actually kind of comforting to know, because it means that everything is just a habit, so you can kind of just improve on everything if you just replace it with another habit or a new habit. It's not like you're dumb. That's why you're bad. It's got nothing to do with that. It's all just habits. Because if you played against Spargo or Sonics or any of these players, but they're talking on the phone with their mum while they're versing you, they're still going to beat you, right? Do you guys agree? They're still going to beat you. Even though all of their logic is on the phone call. It's not on the game at all. So it kind of just proves that it's nothing to do with logic. Yeah, they're definitely going to beat you, right? So it's a really important idea to understand that when you verse someone and they beat you, they didn't logically outsmart you at all. The same, if you guys yourself, you guys can play Smash Bros. If you verse someone, I don't even care if it's freaking Elon Musk, right? They have 150 IQ. You verse them, and you're on the phone call, and they're using all their brain power on the game, but they've only played the game twice in their life before. You're destroying them. You're absolutely cooking Elon Musk. He doesn't know what's going on. Even though he's, I assume, way smarter than you. Like, he's got more IQ. It's not about that. It's about habits, and your brain just knows how to play Smash Bros. This is an extremely important concept. Wait, Jimbo, what is this? Thank you so much. I always do this where if I lose a match, I watch top players like Whoop, Warm. It's improved my skill. For example, at my local weekly, I had trouble with Terry, so I watched a set of K. Rool versus Terry and won the next set 3-0. Yeah, no, that's awesome, Jimbo. That is perfect. So yeah, this is an extremely... Everything is a habit. Like, you guys need to realize how true this statement is for life in general. Like, all this stuff, this is the cool thing about getting really good at Smash Bros. It's going to help you with everything in life. If you get good at, like, people like LeBron James, whatever, who are really good at basketball, I guarantee if LeBron James wants to figure out how to make a good sandwich, he's going to make the best fucking sandwich ever. You know what I mean? All this stuff will help you with more than just Smash Bros. That's why I believe it's actually a really cool thing to focus on, is making yourself have the discipline or to get good. And the ability to get good at stuff is a skill in itself. So yeah, I would say, just to sum this up, is like, if you can kind of treat your brain as someone separate from you that you're training up, like, that's going to help you so much. It's going to help you so much. Okay, now let's talk about this concept. This kind of links into the last one. Actually, you know what? Before that, I'm going to give you guys all a task. All a task right now. I want everyone to, if you haven't already, open like a Word doc or a notepad or something and write down one bad habit you have at Smash Bros. if you don't know anything that you're bad at right now, then please post a VOD in the Discord, or maybe check out a set of yourself. But I'm hoping all of you know at least one thing you're bad at. Like you spot dodge too much, you roll too much, something like that. Jumping, yeah, that's a good one. Jim Bob Will, jumping after every hit. Oh, Jim Bob's ahead of the curve. Using my jumps off stage early. Yeah, everyone write down one habit you have. And Jim Bob has got it down already. We're going to go into more detail how to remove a habit, but I want all of you, just so we can all have like a tangible goal that we can come back with next week. I want all of you to have that habit gone by the next lecture, right? All of you. That's going to be your main focus, is to remove this habit. And that way we can all come back next week and all talk about how we did with removing our habit. That sound good, everyone? And so we're all in it together. We're all doing it, right? Edge after taking the stock. What do you mean? Oh, rolling behind them from the ledge. Sorry. It's got separated between LDGs thing. Yeah, I edge after taking every. Sorry. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. But oh my god. Sorry, that got me so good. But yeah. Focusing on this habit is going to help everyone so much, and this is leading into this next concept, that length of time playing. Is this right, guys? I did coding for a bit. Does this mean what I think it means? The exclamation mark equals? Does that mean the length of time playing does not equal improvement? Is that right? Or did it does? Okay. Okay. My coding. I wanted to test out my coding. My coding skills. Okay, so yeah, this literally means the length of time playing does not equal improvement. So let's talk about this this concept a bit more. In fact, I've got Dr. Mario here because there was literally a study done on doctors that after, I think it was about 5 years of being an actual licensed doctor, you can tell how good that doctor is going to be. Like, the first 5 years of you being a real doctor correlates to how good you are going to be for the rest of your entire career. Like, people don't keep improving even though they're being a doctor for a lot more time. This is the same with, I don't know if you guys watch Formula 1 at all, but a lot of the Formula 1 drivers are young. Yeah, I'm sure reaction time's got a bit to do with it. But it's like, why is there a thing where these people who don't have as much experience, they've got nowhere near as much experience as some of the top guys, why are they overcoming them? The exact same with Smash Bros. Why is these new players like Spargo, like Akola, why are these people beating freaking Dabuz and Mewtwo King? I know reaction time has a little bit to do with it, but I promise it is far, far from everything to do with it. The doctor example shows that more, because people could be like, oh, it's reaction time, that's why. Okay, explain why a doctor, like, you're good for 5 years, and then that's just how you are. Does anyone know? I'm going to ask you guys, does anyone have ideas as to why this is? Same with Smash Bros. Like, a lot of you have probably were getting good and then you just plateau. I'm sure, I guarantee you guys that there's some of you who have been playing for however long you've been playing. I guarantee you there's someone out there who's played less than you and is better than you. Like, that's just a fact. That is just a fact. But why? Yeah, why is that? Could it be your mind thinking there's nothing new to learn at the level you're at? Yeah, that could be part of it. Yeah, like your mind is kind of just this is what we are, but you kind of know, right? You kind of know that there is why are they better than you then? You know what I mean? But people 100% if you're like I know everything but my reaction's just bad, yeah, you've copped it. Probably back to the habit thing. Our brain sees what we already do as optimal and doesn't decide to do it different. Yes, Casimir. Yeah, Casimir, exactly. Literally linking it back to it's this. It's the habit thing. Your brain just gets in a habit and that is what it does. That is what it does. I was watching a video literally just last night about speaking and how some people are good at speaking while other people are bad at speaking. But everyone freaking speaks non-stop. Their length of time playing for speaking is off the charts. But there's some 40-year-olds out there who stutter, probably say and ah like all the time. It's got nothing to do with like the... That's like me. I say like a lot, I realize. I need to work on that. That's my habit. I need to fix by next week. It's got nothing to do with the length of time. Sorry, I need to sneeze. It's all about habits. Casimir has nailed it. But how do we change our habits? I'm barely 20 years old and I stutter a lot. Yes, like we all talk all the time, but some people are way better at talking than others. You know what I mean? Because they actually are trying to fix those habits and actively get better. This is how I would say it, right? I would say the length of time actively improving something is what leads to improvement. Does that sentence make sense? It's far different from the mindless playing constantly. But the length of time that you're actively thinking, getting feedback, adjusting to that feedback, that is what leads to improvement. Going back to doctors, they have to renew their doctor's license every few years because of this very thing. Oh, really? I actually didn't know that, Casimir. They have to renew their license all the time because they might be getting bad. Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. Length of time actively improving. You've probably all experienced it where I feel like the most common version of this is you play and you grind and you get to the point where your movement really can't get much better and you start to plateau. Because you hit that point where it's like, yeah, you could do a back air, you can fast fall, but you get to a point where technically there's not much left to work on and everything else now is mental and concepts and strategies. And as soon as you get to that point, you just start to plateau. Because that's when you really need to be embracing this time of actively improving compared to just grinding. So, the question, how do you improve at the game mentally? Well, in simple terms, you just need to be adjusting your gameplay based on the feedback and analysis you get from yourself or others. And that is this actively improving thing. First step, I would say, is you're already doing the bit of getting new feedback to adjust your gameplay by watching these lectures and instructionals. They're going to help out a ton, especially like... well, this one as well, but for all of them, when we're going into the specifics of different areas of gameplay, it's going to help out so much. Let's actually go through a practical example of how to be actively improving rather than passively improving. Let's go through an entire practical example because so far I feel like we've been very... what's the right word? We've been very conceptual about this all, but let's get practical. So I would say... let's find out a habit right now. Let's, has anyone posted anything in the VOD analysis channel? No, no one has yet. Let me, get something up here. How's this been so far, guys? Has it been interesting? So far, so good. Is it making sense?
Just wait.
Good so far. Already have something to work on. Got to get the concepts down before applying them, you know? Yeah, exactly. I feel like we've been talking very conceptual, but let me go through an actual example of applying a concept. So let's say we're this Link player, right?
We're using that crouch dash to get through these projectiles.
I find this great, very interactive.
You know, off to the races we go.
Being able to
I'm a little surprised to see we're starting.
And ask is great. Wait, why not Lycan? Who's Lycan? It's my friend. He got 9 stocked. Okay. Let's say we're Lycan. He gets 9
game off
stocked
here
in this
on
match.
Hollow Bastion. A little bit of a larger.
Oh god. Oh, that's crazy. Actually, no way, Sammy G. Let's say we're Lycan. This video is very loud, by the way. Oh, thank you very much.
Stage, which
so we're versing Kazuya. We're running
Lycan,
around.
You wanna have space
Okay,
to
we just
get
get
away
hit in the
from Kazuya,
face.
but that's center plat. This is not it.
That's hilarious.
Finding the way back though, fantastic stuff early on.
He's
absolutely.
yeah. Kazuya is closing the distance on us like there's no tomorrow. Like we have literally a sword, and then we're jumping forward with a bomb in our hands towards Kazuya, who is a combo fiend.
Yeah, absolutely. But Riddles, you know, he's not letting up. He keeps that pressure on.
Now, this is none of you guys, so I don't care too much about getting a specifically really good aspect of Lycan's game to work on. But let's say our spacing sucks, right? Let's say our spacing sucks. That's our thing. That's our habit to work on. Now, I'm literally booting up Smash Bros. Give me a second. Now we go to Smash Bros. Hopefully I can show this to you guys. Oh, it's not. Is this going to have my face? There we go. There we go. You guys can see this, right? Yeah, okay. I just want to go through this practically for everyone. I'm sure a lot of you kind of understand this already as well. Game audio is a bit loud. All right, thank you. But just diving more into the whole habit idea. Now that you guys are really, hopefully, starting to see this thing of how everything's a habit. So, okay, perfect. Now let's go here. We'll pick Link. Where even is Link? I don't even know. Am I blind? What's happened to me? There he is. And now we just start building the new habit. We start actively improving. You know what I mean? Like, we start trying to make sure we get the tipper of the sword. I literally never play Link, so I'm going to be bad at this myself. But we want to get like the furthest hit possible we can with our moves, right? We want to get really used to that. See, like that down tilt was way too close. I could be spacing like here, doing things like that. Then step it up, you know, verse. I'm not going to go through all the steps, but like, you know, now start versing at level 3 and try and keep that spacing so he can't approach too quick. You know what I mean? See how I outspace? Like, this spacing is good. Keep the spacing. Just start playing like that. And really, this is all you're thinking about. Don't even try and win the match. Your ego's going to be like, you're going to go online, you're going to be bad because you're only focusing on spacing, and your ego's going to be like, no, you just got to go back to our habits. We're going to just try and win. Let's just try and win. If your brain ever thinks that, nah, you're done. You're not improving. As soon as your brain's like, let's just win. That's great for when you're actually in tournament, but when you're improving, you never want that thought to pop in your head. Just the entire time you're playing, you want to be like, okay, spacing, spacing, spacing. And you're going to mess up. You're going to have a moment where you do this. Oh, shit, I messed up. I ran forward with the boomerang. He rolled behind me. Okay, let's not do that again. And then it's just, you'll start to develop a new, better habit. If you have something... Would you say this goes for grind sessions? I say this is the most important thing for grind sessions. Something that people probably do so wrong is they have 2 3-hour grind sessions. You play friendlies with one person for 3 hours. You finish grinding, and you don't even have a single fucking thing in your head where you're like, oh, I got way better at that. Oh, I got so much better at this. You just literally just got there and you just played and you grinded, and he's a bit better than you, and you leave and he's still a bit better than you. Or you're a bit better than them, and you leave, and you're still only just a little bit better than them. That's the biggest. That's the whole. That's the bad, really bad thing of this whole concept of just playtime does not equal improvement that we want to focus on. Another amazing thing, guys, is I used to have. This is me personally. I used to have a really bad roll habit. Play literally without the shield button in. Just play and say, I am never going to roll in these matches. And you will still roll. I guarantee you. Kazmir was talking about it with the spot dodge, yeah? Did you go to play and you... Because Kazmir has a bit of a spot dodge habit we worked out yesterday. You go and you play and you think, I'm not even going to spot dodge once. And then you do it. And then you're like, oh shit, it is a habit. And then it forces your brain to actively think in a different way. So we'll move on from that, but I just wanted to get a bit practical for you guys there. Yeah, I say I'll VOD review, and I never actually do because I'm too proud. I know what I do, but I clearly don't. Yeah, ego. We'll talk about ego in a little bit. We'll talk about ego a bit later on. Ego's a big one. But yeah, as soon as that thought pops in, let's just try and win. Nah, you're done. It's over. Try not to have that thought. Try and catch yourself. It's really difficult. But once again, it's a habit. It's a habit to be good at catching yourself for that kind of thing. So how could I do that if you nair in disadvantage too much is King K rule? Yeah. Even though neutral air out of disadvantage is really good, right? If it's a habit, play friendlies, go online versus CPUs. Versing a CPU is great, by the way, for not affecting your ego because it's literally a CPU. You never have that moment where you're like, I just got to beat him. It's a CPU. Nobody's watching. Nobody knows that you're getting your ass kicked by level 9 Kazuya. Just verse him. Never nair. Never nair out of disadvantage once. It'll force your brain to start thinking in new ways, start adjusting. And then when you bring back in neutral air, it'll you'll be able to use it far more effectively because it won't be a habit. So let's go back to this. Length of time playing actively improving something leads to improvement. Hopefully that sentence makes a lot more sense now. Reaching your technical limit is far easier than your mental limit. This is... You guys probably... I feel like a lot of you guys are quite good. You probably all have noticed this. You get to a point where just playing and grinding, you plateau. Because technically you probably can do pretty much everything a top player can do. You can fast forward, you can back air when you want to back air. All that kind of stuff is on the grind. Then it starts to get mental. But the best way to do this is, yeah, if you're going to take away anything from this entire lecture, I would say it's this. Everything's a habit, so and treat your brain and yourself as two different things. Ooh, pardon me. Sorry about that. You want to be the coach for your brain. Because... I don't know if this is a weird thing to say. I don't know if you guys understand this completely. But when you get in tournament, especially tournament, when there's nerves and everything on the line, you don't really get to play that much. Your brain does. You go in there and your brain does what it does, and you really don't have too much of a say on it. That might sound really weird, but people who have been to tournament, do you guys understand what I'm saying by that? Also, I don't know how long this lecture is, but asking too many questions. No. Ask as many questions as you want. Ask as many questions as you want. Yeah, 100%. Yep, definitely. Yes. Okay, perfect. You guys already get it. Yeah. This is why you need to treat your brain as two different things. Because you actually really don't get to play when it's tournament. Understand that your brain is playing and you are separate from that. I feel friendlies versus bracket is completely different. Yeah, 100%, right? Friendlies, you get to think a bit more. You're probably more calm, level-headed. We'll go over like how to be more calm and stuff in bracket, but it's different. It really is different. When you get in bracket, there's nerves, your brain's in freaking fight or flight mode, and it has a mind of its own. Yes, I've played before in tournament and still don't know what happened. Yeah, it's far more common. It's really common in tournament. You play a set, you finish the set, and you try to think about what happened, and you actually can't. It's like that's how separate you and your brain are. It's a really important concept. Really good for just life in general as well, to understand this concept. So, let's start with a bit of a very simple, extremely simple framework on what should you be improving. Like you kind of get that you should be focusing on the efficient stuff first, but there's no freaking guidebook to follow. So let's make that right now. I would say these are the three things. This like an extremely simplified summary of the three things that you can work on. For me personally, I would do it in this order, but whatever jumps out to you first, I would say is what you should focus on. But for me personally, I would start like this, right? You have someone who's a low level player, or if I go back to the times where I'm a low level player, I would say focus on getting your basic combos down first. For me, I just find this the most fun. Like, it's really satisfying to hit your basic combos when you're not really good at them. So this is especially if you're trying to adjust and learn a new character as well. Get down the basic combos. With Wolf, you got like forward air into grab, into down throw, into dash attack. That's probably a basic combo there. Whatever character you play, find their really basic combos and get them down. This will also help you improve really fast, guys, because there's a huge difference between getting like 40% when you win neutral every time compared to like 15% every time because you mess up your combos. Like, think about it. In this situation, you need to win neutral 3 times to get to 120%. I don't know the maths off the top of my head, but if you do 15% every time, what's that? 9 times you got to win neutral compared to 3 or 8 times? It's such a huge difference. It'll help you improve really fast, and it's really fun. After that, I would go on to just movement in general. This is still, both of these are kind of like how we were talking about. These are the easiest things to just grind and improve. So movement, watch top players for your character and emulate their movement. I literally would watch top Nest players. I would watch the first 30 seconds of a match, and then I would copy their movement in training mode. Literally you'd start to get a feel for how they move. Even if you don't understand why they're moving that way, you start to get really good at spacing your aerials. You start to get good at fade back aerials, fast falling in the right spot, dashing in the right moments. All that kind of stuff. Really, really handy. It's going to help you get good really quickly. And then I would move on to tactics. Tactics is just how I'm summarizing 100% of all the mental stuff in the game. It's an extreme simplification, but I feel like tactics is really the thing that separates like the best players from the other best players, you know what I mean? They can all do everything, but who has the better ability to adjust on the fly, who has better game plan, stuff like that. But if you don't have these two things down first, I personally would say focus on these first, guys. Now, let's move on to motivation. But how's everything so far? Is everyone standing that? Yo, Benjamin, what the hell? Yo, you do not need to donate on the School of Smash stream. That's crazy. Thank you so much. When will this end? So the actual lecture, let me just have a look because I've got some notes. I would say the actual lecture stuff, we're getting close to the end now because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But I would say we have maybe 15 minutes of straight content of the lecture left, maybe even less. But then I'm happy to do a Q&A for until about, let me do the maths here, to about 9 p.m. CT, or like an hour from now. Thank you so much, Benjamin. That's crazy. How do you deal with the thought that playing Smash is a time waste? We'll get into that, Noah. We'll get into that. That's a great question. I'm taking notes. This is very valuable information. That's awesome, Wiz. I hope has anyone like not taken any notes who is taking notes, like they found nothing useful? Because if so, I'm sorry, but I feel like if that is true, I think motivation's going to be really good for that. I guarantee. I'm hoping that I've got some stuff here that you guys haven't thought about. So for tactics, would that include platform camping versus Little Mac? Yeah, tactics. Tactics is an oversimplification. It literally covers everything, like going into matches with a good game plan. If you guys want, I can show you guys some of my personal notes that I used to take now. Just give me a sec. Oh, this is going to have spoilers. Hang on now. But this is some of the stuff I'm talking about when I mentioned tactics. I can give you guys all these notes. I can post them in there as well. But let's say when I was tryharding and learning Wolf, this is an example, right? I would literally do stuff like this for different characters. Learning a matchup. Have a basic game plan. I think I could do a better job of this now. And we can kind of have a complete lecture on making game plans for matchups if you want. But it's like with Wolf, I would have ideas of what to do in a neutral, in advantage, in disadvantage. Ways to get kills that I should really be looking for. All stuff like this is tactical. Avoid jumping into up smash from Link, DI out on Boomerang so it doesn't combo into forward air. Stuff like that is all tactical. Yeah. Let me go back to the old slideshow. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. All right. This is going to be stuff. This is the kind of stuff that you guys are not going to get from Metafy, I guarantee you. But I feel like this stuff is going to help you so much. This is going to be stuff on how to optimize like the process of being motivated or being willing, more willing to improve than anyone else. And I feel like that's so important, guys. Having more motivation than other people is probably one of, if not the best thing that you could have to get better than other people. I don't know if you guys have watched The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary, but it's like that guy is so motivated to beat you at basketball. You know what I mean? That's probably the best thing about Michael Jordan. It's just he is so willing. Someone who is willing to improve at Smash Bros the most is going to have a huge advantage because they might have a spare 2 hours in the day where you're just sitting at home and like where one person might just watch YouTube videos or watch whatever compared to this person who's so motivated that when they get 2 hours, they're like, yes, I have 2 hours. I'm going to improve. Let's go. I'm going to get better at Smash Bros. The other person who's watching YouTube has actually no chance. They've got no chance. You know what I mean? It's so important. So let's, I feel like motivation is the key to success. I feel like motivation is the key to Sonic's success now. I don't know why that sentence messed me up so much, but yeah. I haven't looked at Sonic's too much. I don't really follow Sonic's, but it makes sense. I bet he's extremely motivated. It's so important. So let's look at the first thing, environment. Our brains are designed to be excited by what people around us are excited by. We're a tribal species, and this is just how our brain is wired. Gaming companies are really, really good at this. If a new game is coming out, they release trailers, they release little teasers for everyone on Twitter. They release snippets. You can pre-order the game now. Like, why the hell would you ever buy a game before you can actually buy the game? Why would you pre-order a game 6 months in advance? Makes no sense. But they know that they can create an environment where everyone now is talking about the game, and now they're excited, they're motivated to play the game. Environment's so important for motivation. Like, let me ask you guys, like, let's say there's 2 movies, yeah? 2 movies are coming out. They both have the same ratings. You're kind of interested in both the same amount. One movie, though, your entire friend group, everyone at school, everyone at your work is talking about this movie. That's movie A. Movie B, no one's mentioned it. Which movie are you going to watch? Which movie is everyone knows, right? 100% you pick movie 1. 100%. That is, your brain is literally designed to do that. Because if you're in a tribe and everyone in your tribe's like, yo, we really got to get these buffaloes. Buffalo's so delicious. It's all about the buffaloes. That's what everyone's in on. That's how culture works. That's why every country has different cultures. I'm going to make my own movie. That's why every country has its own culture, because you do what people around you do. So this becomes extremely, you can use this to your advantage in an extreme way by cultivating an environment that motivates you to improve at Smash Bros. This is why the Discord is so amazing. This is probably why this lecture is amazing, right? How many of you are more excited and keen to get better at Smash Bros in this very moment than you were, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? Who's more motivated and like hyped? Me, yeah, see? Me, yes. Me. More so that, yeah, exactly, right? This is peak, I'm actually learning. Exactly, that's just how it is. It's actually just how your brain works, guys. It's how your brain, so it's like we're cultivating an environment for it. That's the whole idea of this whole thing. I want to play friendly. Exactly, you want to play friendlies right now. You don't even want to wait to the end of this lecture. That's how bad you want to freaking play some Smash Bros and try and get better. Exactly my point. Environment is key to motivation. You can do this with anything you want in life, guys. Absolutely anything you want. You want to go to the gym more? You never go to the gym? Start following a bunch of gym TikToks. Start seeing the gym everywhere. Start following gym pages. Just do this with anything you want, guys. It's so important. Clear goals that you are confident about. This is why I asked you guys to write down literally just have one habit, and we're all going to try and be good at that by next week. I hope you guys all remember that and have written that down. Because you're probably more confident that you're going to be able to fix that one habit if you put all your effort into it than if you have a goal that is, my goal is to be the best player in the world. Then you go to your next local and you lose a set. You literally come 7th at your local and you're like, shit. There's no way I'm ever going to be the best in the world. It's done. The way your brain calculates what it wants to do, what it's motivated to do, is partly based upon how likely it is going to succeed at that task and how likely that task is going to be rewarding. That is why your brain wants to go on your phone every day when you wake up, because it's so easy to just grab your phone and it knows it's going to get some freaking delicious dopamine. It's so confident. It's so confident that it's going to get some dopamine, and it's so easy to do that. It's so confident in its ability to grab your phone because it's so easy. The same reason you don't go outside. I guarantee none of you go out into your yard and try to fly. Maybe, like, no one does that, unless you're a little kid, because you're so confident that that goal is never going to succeed. But hey, I bet if you're a little baby, you're a little kid, you probably had moments where you're like, I'm going to try and fly. I used to have moments where you're a little kid and you're like, don't ruin my dream, I could fly. I had moments when I was a kid, you watch Star Wars, right? You just finished watching Star Wars and you try to move a piece of fruit. And you try to freaking bring it towards you with the Force. You know, you're like, oh, maybe I do have the Force. And you try it, and it doesn't work. It never works. And then you give up. And so I don't try anymore. I don't walk around my house like, come on, you little banana. Maybe this is the time. Because you're just not confident in it, right? You're not confident in it. That's how your brain calculates. Yo, my computer's floating right now. Wait, y'all can't fly. But that is how you that is how your brain calculates. That's how your brain can increase motivation. If it's confident it can succeed in a goal. If it's not confident it can succeed in a goal, then it's going to be like, well, no, let's not try that. Your brain does that calculation for you automatically. This is why being confident really helps with motivation. I don't know if you guys have noticed this trend, but a lot of people who are good at stuff can kind of be arrogant as well. Because they're so confident that they can be the best at something that their brain is going to give them more motivation. It's going to be... Have you noticed that? Because if you're really confident you actually can be the best, you actually can do it, your brain's like, it's going to give you motivation to try it. It's going to... And if you have ever met someone who is really an unconfident person, maybe even depressed person, getting into a bit of specifics, like mental health stuff here, but they don't even want to do anything because what's the point? You can't succeed at anything. Now your brain does the calculations and it's like, gives you no motivation. It's like, hell no, why are we doing anything? That is how that works. Reduce life's distractions. This is a great one. For example, once again, another seemingly stupid example that you guys can probably answer very easily, right? But the point comes across. Let's say I'm trying to watch Pop It One's lecture right now on Smash Bros. Who is going to be learning better? There's person A. They are in a extremely quiet room or extremely clean room. Person B, their house is on fire. Who's gonna... who's learning? Yeah, person A, right? Person A. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the same kind of concept applies. Like your motivation is going to dwindle for a specific thing that you actually want to do if it's getting pulled in so many different directions. There's so many other things you need to do that you haven't done yet. So this is where your parents are probably going to be pretty happy with me saying this if you have parents. But like, get your homework out of the way first before you start improving your Smash Bros. Clean your room if it's messy as shit and you got bowls all over your room right now and 7 glasses. Just get that stuff out of the way real quick first, and then your brain is going to so easily focus on what you want it to focus on. Because just like the way that if a house is on fire, your brain's like, part of it, even if you don't want it to be, part of your brain's going to be like, what about this thing? And you're not going to be able to focus as easily. And then it's going to take something extremely dopaminergic, like playing a video game while watching YouTube at the same time, to distract you from your distractions, like your homework. And then you get sucked into doing bad stuff like that. But if you want to be able to do and focus on things that maybe aren't as crazily dopaminergic, you're going to have to do your homework and get that stuff out of the way first. In my opinion, I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? I get that. Balls? No, bowl. Yeah, bowls. Sorry. I don't know if I say that weird with an Australian accent. Balls. Do I say that weird? That's kind of where I'm at. Wait, what do you think about working 8 to 5 on weekdays and not having the mental energy to improve? Okay, I know that's almost a separate topic that I'm happy to talk about more. That also might be something I could talk about more on the Jordan Ridley channel. Working 8 to 5 on weekdays, not having the mental energy to improve. Yeah, so what do you end up doing instead, Sammy? That's where I'm kind of out looking to use this series to learn how to practice on my own when I do have the time. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that's why I don't want this lecture to drag on, because I understand that you guys have, a lot of you have only a certain amount of time. Probably relax. Here's the thing though. I bet you don't. I bet your brain doesn't get to relax. I bet sometimes you get home and you actually end up just watching a bunch of YouTube. That's kind of insane. LOL facts. I called you out, Sammy. I called you out. I called you out. I guarantee your brain is not relaxing. I bet it's getting fucking dopamine out the wazoo. I bet you're looking and there's TikToks flying by, and there's other shit going on. You're actually not just like chilling. You're not just sitting eating just food. There's no way. There's no way you get home, you're like, oh, I had a big day. My brain actually needs to relax. Let's just get some food and only have food and eat it. This kind of comes back to that point of habits and clear goals that you are confident about, like having really small little goals. Because if your brain is like, oh man, I need to improve at Smash Bros. I need to look at a VOD and I need to look at notes. Fuck that, man. That's so much energy needed. I'm going to now feel really tired to save you from wasting time doing that. Your brain will make that calculation for you and you have no control over it. You'll start to feel really tired. Same with something like homework. You guys probably have done this. I've done this all the time. You have a task that you've been delaying so much. You've been delaying it for hours and hours. You've been playing video games. You've been watching YouTube. You're doing all this shit, right? Then it gets to the point where you just have to do the task and it takes you 5 minutes. And you're like, what the hell? That was actually so easy. But your brain did a terrible calculation on how much effort it was needed. Yeah, exactly, guys. Okay, exactly. Exactly. That's why you want clear little goals. And that is why this step, enjoy it, is actually super important. That's why this enjoy it step is so important. More important, like people say, oh, enjoy what you do. Like, oh, the most important thing is just to have fun. That's one of those sayings that is so true that it loses its meaning. Because at the end of the day, all of this is for fun. You know what I mean? This is all for fun and to have a good, enjoyable life and get skills that will help you in life as well as just enjoying yourself. Like, your brain is designed to do things that gives it dopamine. Like, that is how our brains were designed. In the past, that was only ever good because if you're just in a tribe, the only thing that's going to give you dopamine is hunting the rabbit and getting some food for everyone. That's the only thing that gives you dopamine. It's meant to put you in the right direction. We've created a world now where dopamine doesn't put you in the right direction, but the whole point is that you're supposed to do things that are fun, and your brain wants to do that for a good reason, not for a bad reason. And if you enjoy stuff, you are going to be able to learn much faster because with dopamine, your brain associates that with learning, and it's like, let me give a good example here. What was for you guys the most fun day in your entire life? Or what's a really fun memory you have? Like, what was a really fun day in your lives? Can you picture it? Can you still like picture the moment? Do you know what the feelings were? Going to Riptide with friends, that was epic. Roller coaster. Can you guys kind of picture the moment, right? You have like visuals. You kind of, maybe you know some random facts about that day. Maybe you know my 14th birthday and my homies came over and just chilled. Maybe you probably remember the friends that were there. It was a talent show and I was singing Don't Stop Believing and everybody was shouting and happy. Oh, that's so sick. Like, you might even remember some crazy stuff like what you ate that day. You might even remember some crazy stuff like that or something someone weird. What did you guys do 3 days after that day? You know exactly what you know both meals that you ate that day. What do you guys do 3 days after the most fun day? No clue, no idea. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if you guys understand how important that stuff is. Exactly. Your brain, the reason you remember stuff is if it has a strong emotional sensation. That is how your brain is like, oh, we will remember this. We will learn this. If it has a strong emotional moment combined with it, that is how you get good memories. That is why you go to freaking school every day and it's boring as hell and nothing excites you and you don't create any fucking memories. But you have one moment where you sing on stage and you know everything you ate that day. Does that make sense? Because it was so fun, your brain's like, yes, the emotion and memories are tied together. So the more you enjoy something, you have a grind session with your friends and you're laughing, you guys are having fun, you're talking specifically about, oh, you just hit that crazy combo. What should I have done to get out of that? That was so fun. You're going to learn. Your brain holds onto it. Yeah, you guys get it? You guys get this point? You guys get how crazy that is? The same thing does happen with negative emotions. Like, you will remember stuff that you feel quite negatively about. So this is kind of maybe a bad, I don't know if this is a healthy way to look at it. But let's say you really care, right? You really care. You have a tournament set. And you lose because you rolled into an up smash. And you're just devastated about that. You're going to remember that. You're going to remember how you rolled into that up smash. But I would say the better option is to do it based on enjoyment, right? But emotions and memories are tied together in a crazy way that your brain needs. Like that's how your brain works. That's just how it's designed. Because you have like a crazy moment that you're really happy about, and your brain's like, that was amazing. We need to remember this so we can do it again. Apply and discuss your learning as soon as possible. So, for example, let me just say what it is first, and then I'll go into discussing why you should do that. But like, let's say you guys have been working on spacing. You go and you see someone's posted a VOD in the VOD analysis in the Discord, and you can see that they're really bad at spacing. Mention why spacing is so important and how to be better at spacing. Talk about it when you guys are playing friendlies. Talk about how you're working on your spacing currently and you've gotten a lot better at it, and this is why. And then you explain it. Just like the Japan example, where the person who lives in Japan gets better at learning language because they're part of it, a lot of it is they're regurgitating the information. That is how you guys are going to be able to, that's how you're going to be able to have your learning stick and be able to have it applicable the fastest. Because once again, it's just how your brain works. You know how to say hello because you have to say hello. The stuff I learned at school for maths that I never brought up again, like how to work out area under a curve, my brain can't remember that because it's like, you only have so much space in your brain. So your brain's like always going through like, man, we never brought this up. We haven't brought this up for 6 months. Get it out of here. This thing we are bringing up every day, like language, like we're bringing this up every day, how to be good at spacing, you have to, I do this now, and you're talking about it, or you're actively bringing it out in your practice sessions. Your brain is like, shit, we got to hang on to this. We use it every freaking day, baby. I'm definitely learning that. That's like when I went to Japan, I learned like sumimasen, arigatou gozaimasu, like all these like sayings, even how to pronounce it correctly in a more friendly way, because I was using it every day. So your brain like just hangs on to it. So apply and discuss your learning as soon as you've learnt it. As soon as you've learned something new, start regurgitating it. The regurgitation is how you're going to remember it. I hope that makes sense. Then go on to this final slide. This is the final slide, by the way, guys. I always wonder about mental capacity and how to increase it. You've got a limited capacity, and that's kind of like a fact. But it's a big capacity, but your brain is just extremely efficient on getting rid of the shit it doesn't need anymore. Jim Bob Will. So my German family used to live with my family, and I learned basic German because I was around them for a long time, and I asked questions to improve. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's the exact thing. It's facts. I've learned more at my job than I have in uni because it's applicable, and the better I am, the more commission I get. Dopamine, money. Yes, Sammy. Yes, exactly. These are the things you guys can apply to everything. Like you guys kind of probably know everything I have brought up deep down. That's why when I ask a question, like who can focus more, the guys whose house is on fire or not? It's like you guys know the answer straight away, but it's like no one has you just don't have awareness for this stuff. And so if you're aware of all of it, you can just boom, start applying this shit to Smash Bros, start applying it to anything straight away. I pull an elastic band strapped to my right to inflict a little pain after I lose a stock. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about inflicting a pain after you lose a stock. It actually could work. It actually could work. I've never thought about it that way. But if that is what you need to do to kind of bring it's like a little bit of pain. It's just like okay, that makes sense. Nothing bad. So it's just like you do it, and then as long as that allows you to have more awareness and like you get to think now why you lost that stock, I can definitely see that working. %. Pain and discipline are the greatest teachers. Okay, here's when we need to start being careful. And this is where I said, enjoy it. Because, yeah, pain and discipline might be good at teaching, but your brain is also designed to not want to do anything where there's pain and discipline. You don't want to be... You don't want your motivation to start... you don't want your motivation, guys, to start disappearing. The whole point is you want to be like, let's freaking go, baby. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking play some Smash. Let's get better. What if I'm a masochist? Send it then. All right, this is the final slide. Let's go through this, guys. Don't let ego hold you back. This is going to be like just a quick... We're not going to go in depth on this because we only have so much time. But I just feel like this is a good final slide to work on. Like your ego can be really good. It can drive you to improve and make you want to win. Like, I want to beat this guy. I lost to this guy. I feel like I'm better than him. I'm going to beat him next time. Like, it can be good for motivation, but there's a lot of bad as well. If you start relying on it too much or not checking it when it's holding you back. Like, you want to ride the coat wings, what's it called when you're in Mario Kart and you're behind the character and you get the boost? What is that? What is that called? Drafting? Yeah, you want to draft on ego when it's working in your favor. And then when it's not working on your favor, you want to be like, hang on, let me get the hell out the way of this thing. Because it's going to make you not want to watch VODs of yourself. You guys have probably had this. You play a match, you go to a tournament, and you lose. And you don't even want to watch the VODs of yourself. It's too painful to watch yourself lose. And then you start saying things to yourself like, oh, I know what I did wrong. I just need to do this next time. Nah, man, that's your ego. There's no actual reason why you wouldn't, like, analytically, if you're a robot, if you're teaching an AI, you're teaching someone else to get good, there's no reason you wouldn't say, watch the VOD and see specifically what you did. There's no reason. Anything you come up with is your ego being like, nah, man, it's all right. You don't need to do it. It's going to make you not want to go to tournaments. You need to be careful. Because if your ego's like, man, I want to be the best. I want to be the best ever. I want to be first in my scene. A weird thing is going to start happening to you, which this is why this is the fundamentals. This is why this is lecture 1. This is to save you guys from these things early on. You're going to have this weird thing where you actually don't want to go to tournaments. You actually don't want to play friendlies anymore. Because I want to be the best, so I can't lose. So let's just not fucking go to the tournament and not play anyone. It sounds so stupid when you say it out loud like that. Is this what's happened to you, Siren? Has anyone felt this? Maybe it's happened to you in something else in that you want to be good at. But that's me. Yeah. Yeah. Be careful of this. Be very careful of this trap. It happens to you all the time? Yeah, exactly. This is why you guys gotta just enjoy. This is why this is the most important step, the enjoy. This is why it's the crazy good step. And it's also going to make you want to not try new tactics. Like we talked about previously, guys, if you're trying to play in a new way, you're trying to get rid of old bad habits, and you're focused on that, you're going to be playing a little bit worse overall, and you might lose a bit more. And so as soon as you get to the point where your brain's like, nah, screw this, I just want to win, I'm going to start rolling everywhere again, because I know if I roll everywhere, I can win. You're not going to get any better. Sure, you might be able to beat the people you already still can beat, but that's legit. That's it. So, yeah. That kind of sums up the lecture, guys. How did you guys feel about that? What are your thoughts? I played chess and got to 1,000 ELO, then stopped playing because I was scared to lose rank. Exactly, Benjamin. Exactly. This will happen with Smash Bros as well if you start taking it too seriously and too strict. That will start happening to you. That's why this is part 1. Also, if anyone took any notes, I feel like we should create a channel in the Discord for lecture notes. I'll do that after this. But I hope some of you took notes. I hope so. I hope so. Really helpful. Glad I signed up. Always loved the way you explain things. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Samaji. It went great. Okay. For the parts I was here for, I strongly agree with all of them. Really helpful. Worth the money so far. Yes, it did. It was good. Okay. That's so awesome, guys. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I'm glad I've been able to help. I've got like 30 minutes or so. We can chill out. You can guys ask any questions you want. Said this in the Discord, but since I've moved out of my uni town and started working, I really haven't gone to many tournaments and kind of got washed, but really want to get back into and make a run at Gommel. Ooh, that's awesome, Sammy. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here then. This is perfect for that. How do I enjoy grinding against an annoying character? Let me think about that. How do you enjoy grinding against an annoying character? Here's the thing. Wait, do I have the camera on me? Let me bring up OBS again. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. Your brain will love being able to defeat an annoying character. It'll love that. In fact, it's probably greater if it's an annoying character. Anytime you make an improvement on beating this annoying character, you're gonna love that so much. And so, I would say, back to our point we had earlier about let me scroll to it. Length of playing does not equal improvement. This is extremely important versus an annoying character. You do not want to just be grinding away mindlessly at it and smashing your head against the wall. It's going to make you hate it even more, and you're probably not going to improve, and you're probably just going to get annoyed. You're probably just not going to be motivated and not want to play anymore. I would say especially with an annoying character, this is where you really need to apply the idea of actively learning and coming up with good strategies or tactics. Maybe playing someone who's really bad at the character or versing CPUs or something and applying the tactics. That way you're just not going to get annoyed as much because you're going to be winning. And you're going to be learning at the same time and improving. I hope that makes sense. Out annoy them. That could work as well. Just out annoy them. How do I record myself play? Just say... someone had a good point before. Like, literally just, if you go online, save a replay. And then you could even... Because the replay system kind of sucks in Smash Bros. Because you can't rewind and go back. You can either use the Nintendo system to upload it to YouTube. Or literally use your phone and record the replay yourself. But going online and saving replays is good. I got a stream card for 25-ish bucks. You can get a stream card for 25 bucks to record yourself play? Oh, God. Wait, you can get a capture card for 25 bucks? Are you serious? I didn't even know that was possible. 100% that was me with Game & Watch, but let me move to this. 100% that was me with Game & Watch, but King K. Rool is really hard, but it makes you want to work harder to figure it out. Yeah, because it's like, it motivates you even more. That's good, Sammy G. But yeah, I would say don't mindlessly grind against it and lose over and over again. You're just going to get pissed. But it makes it so much more satisfying when you do put in the work and you can beat that annoying character. I have like a $40 capture card, but usually after like 10 minutes, the audio gets desynced and I have to unplug and plug it back in. Yeah, I guess you could, but I guess it doesn't really matter if you're literally using it just so you can record your gameplay. Yo, Papa, that reminds me, I put a VOD review in the thing. I would love for you to give me tips. I will later on, Jim Bob. I'm not sure if I'll have time today, but I will. I will get to all of everyone who's signed up. Please put a VOD in the Pop It One VOD analysis section to review. I will go through all of them. About focusing 100% on a character, is it still fine to go comfort characters for a certain matchup in bracket? Or would it be better to take the tough matchup for learning? I guess that's really up to you. It also depends. So let's say it's actual bracket, right? Things are kind of different. I would say in friendlies, 100% use that new character you're learning. But if you're learning a character and you're not even ever going to use it in this matchup, you're going to use your old character in the matchup, I would say feel free to switch to the other character. But if your entire goal is going to be to only use this new character, then your entire goal should probably be to just use that character to get better at. If that makes sense. Guys, thank you so much for all these amazing questions. You guys have been really active. It's been really cool. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are feeling excited and motivated as well. I found that every character I have found annoying becomes the opposite when I grind the matchup and put in the work. Yeah, exactly, Garrett, because then you know it so well. You know it so well, and then now you could beat them and it feels so good. That's the thing. If your brain just is really... Like, people say, oh, it's not about winning, it's just about having fun. I'm gonna be honest. I find winning really fun, and I guarantee some of you do as well. Like, if you're winning, you're having fun. A lot of the time. The thing is, it's not like you need to still have fun if you lose. But winning kind of automatically makes things fun. In my opinion. A lot of the time. So my end goal is to co-main them. It's fine to play Confident Bracket. Yeah, I think so. If you're gonna co-main them, and then you've got a mat like let's say you're playing Game and Watch and Wolf, because that's what I was doing. Now you run into Zero Suit Samus, and Game Watch sucks against Zero Suit Samus, but you're trying to learn your Game and Watch. Might as well just go Wolf. Might as well. But in friendlies, do not do that. But bracket, I feel like bracket is different. You only have so much time in bracket. Is Mario still valid in 2024? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like almost every character is still valid, other than the extremely bottom tier characters. We're seeing people like whatever top like people used to think Fox and Diddy Kong was so bad. People used to think Fox and Diddy Kong were some of the worst characters in the entire game. But then you got a good player behind it. This game is really well balanced. You can do well with a lot of characters. Also, random note, if anyone plays King K. Rool, I can also help review VODs. As I mentioned, I was PR last year in my region and know a lot about the characters, so happy to give additional insight. Awesome, Sammy G. Thank you. Winning is my motivation. If I start losing, it starts to dwindle, I notice. Yeah, Kashmir, that's why people say it's not all about winning. It's not about winning, it's about having fun. That's why people say that. Because you need to also have fun when you're losing. So hopefully some of those motivation hacks we were talking about help with that. Some of this stuff. And some of this stuff as well will ruin your motivation. I hope some of that helps. I can't find you in Discord, but I posted in the member... What's that, Eduardo? What did you post? Oh, sorry, you're talking to Ben. My bad. Again, the question of feeling like Smash is a waste of time. What makes you feel like that, Noah? Do you have other... Like, it's a fair question. It's a fair question, but what are you doing instead with your time? Because I feel like this is a really really good question from Noah. Or is it just the general overall feeling of video games are bad? I should be doing something else. I'm right now one of the best in my country in beatboxing. Oh, so you have beatboxing you enjoy doing as well. Here's the honest truth. I can't make the decision for you on if practicing Smash Bros is gonna help you enjoy your life more. That's something you kind of need to figure out on your own. But I will say this, but this kind of applies to any hobby, in my opinion. That let's say the people who spend the time to get really good at Smash Bros, the skills you need to do that can apply to everything in life, but you get to hone these skills constantly in a really enjoyable way if you have a hobby you enjoy. For example, I feel like almost everything we talked about today will make your life better. I don't think a single one of these things is bad or a waste of time. Does that make sense? If you look at these as an individual thing that you can, you just need to be applying them to everything. And you can hone them in a really fun way and learn them in a fun, enjoyable, motivating way with a hobby. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see how these are all good? I've not read The Art of Learning, no. Sounds interesting. But Musashi has a good quote. Miyamoto Musashi was seen as the greatest samurai of all time. And I'm gonna mess up the saying, but it was something like, as soon as you figure out the way, speaking of how to get good at martial arts or how to get good at sword fighting, you start to see the way in everything. And I think that applies directly here. Where if you can do this stuff in Smash Bros, you can apply it to everything. But I can't make the decision for you on like if it's going to be better for your overall happiness and mental health and everything, Noah, that if you have beatboxing, then maybe you'll do better beatboxing. One of the good ways to notice is kind of try and have a sense of how deep down you feel about something after or while you're doing it. Like, let's say you play Smash Bros for an hour mindlessly. Let's say you play Smash Bros for an hour, and after it, you kind of write down even directly on paper, like, how do I feel right now? And I guarantee you there's going to be a big difference between if you play Smash Bros mindlessly online on Elite Smash for an hour, you're going to write down like, I felt like that was a waste of time. Should have been doing something better. I'm a bit annoyed. Bloody young Link is a pain in the ass. Wish I could punch that little kid in the head. Compared to if you spend an hour analyzing and actually improving at Smash Bros, doing these steps, after that hour, if you write down how you feel, it's going to be a world of difference. In my opinion, this is going to be have to be an experiment you do for yourself. But you do that, you've jumped in a call with someone and played friendlies, you've chatted, you've laughed, you've discussed Smash Bros, and then you write down, you're probably going to be feeling very different. That is an experiment you'll have to run for yourself, because it'll be different for everyone. Getting better at Smash actually helped me adapt better to opponents, but sometimes it feels like a time waste. Yeah, so I would say just run that experiment, Noah, as much as possible, and it'll help you decide. Sorry, can you get rid of the push to talk in the general VC? Or is there only push to talk? Like you have to use push to talk? Yeah? Oh, that's horrible. Okay, I will fix that. I will fix that. Do you guys know how to fix that? I can do that right now, if you guys know. I am not very experienced with Discord. How do I do that? That is terrible. Do I do edit channel? What do I do? Edit channel. No slow mode. Permissions. Okay, I'm hoping this doesn't reveal anything, but here we go. This is the voice chat. Is there a thing that you have to push to talk? Allow members to speak in this voice channel by simply talking. Ah, there we go. I think we found it. I think we found it. Does it work now? Is it fixed? It should be fixed. It's fixed? Okay, okay, it's fixed. Does anyone have any more questions? Oh, wait, sorry. I've missed one from Clarity. Oh, wait, and Eduardo, you listened to the Samurai podcast after you recommended it? Wait, which one? The Samurai podcast. The Book of Five Rings? Is that what you mean? Clarity. If you don't have a moddable switch for training mod pack, how do you make the most out of training mode? that's really going to depend a lot on what you're trying to get better at. I don't know how else to answer that. But the actual training mode Smash Bros has, it kind of sucks, I'll be honest. You might be better off playing CPUs or something. The one about timing? Is it the Book of Five Rings? Wait, where did you find the podcast? Was it like an audiobook of it? Oh wow, I think we just got a new member for School of Smash just then. Kanoa Kahoot. Oh, audiobook. Oh, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, timing's a really big thing that we should do a lecture on for Smash Bros specifics. But yeah, does anyone else have any more questions? Or any recommendations for the lectures? Any chance we could do a 1v1? I can't today. That could be a thing I could set up with different people. But obviously I live in Australia as well. So the connection's going to be really bad. But we could do something. Oh, here they are. Kanoa Kahoot. Welcome. Sorry, how do I pronounce your name? Welcome, welcome. I literally just saw it pop up. You have this entire lecture to watch, Kanoa. Welcome. Kanoa. Welcome. Like Pizza Hut. Kohat. Kanoa Kohat. Is that right? You'd love to see how you go against me. You live in Europe. Great, now I want pizza. Benjamin! Okay, wait. Let's talk about this. Do you see the environmental impacts? The environmental motivation coming in. This is an important moment. Do you see the power of environment just then? Someone mentions Pizza Hut. Now Benjamin wants pizza. That is it. That is it right there. The power of environment on motivation. That is why environment is a really important one. Do you see that? Do you see how crazy? Do you see how quick that is? You don't even notice it. That's so fast. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, kind of. I hope you enjoy watching the lecture back. Please let me know if you have any questions in the Discord about it. I'm sorry, you just slightly missed the lecture. How is this time zone? I assume this time zone is quite good for most of you. That's why you're here. But I probably should have a bit of a mess around with different time zones for these lectures, just so people who are in different regions get a chance to be there live. What time is it for me? For me, it's 10:45 a.m. Noah, that's crazy. Noah, it's 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. So I'll play around with different times. So I think that's the best way to do it. Obviously, I feel like this is where most of you can actually make it. So this is what we'll be doing the most. But probably, unfortunately, once every now and then, I will do like a... Unfortunately for you guys, I should say, but fortunately for the other people who maybe live in Europe or something like that, I'll mess around with a different time every now and then, just so different people can catch it live. I hope you guys can understand that. I think VOD reviewing people in the same region, like some best threes against people. What was that for, Sammy G? It's good for Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. here. Oh, that's perfect. A suggestion for you. I think VOD reviewing people in the same region Do you mean like it'll be good for you guys to VOD review people in your same region? Oh, thank you, Kanoa. Thank you so much. I really hope you get the most amount out of this as possible. My tag in Discord is T2's Deep. T2's Deep. Nice to meet you guys. Okay. True. I didn't even think about that. You guys are going to have different Discords and YouTubes. So basically, I play against Benjamin because he's also North America, and you can watch and review us there, and we can all learn together. Oh, I see what you mean, Sammy. I see what you mean. My only issue is that might be like just too much like time overall. That's why I kind of had the VOD analysis channel, so I can just like go through when I personally have time. Because that I do understand that, but it's like that's not this whole concept is like I'm gonna try to help as many people as possible, but still at the highest possible quality that I can. But when it starts to get into the realm of like working with people one-on-one, that's when it's like becomes literally impossible. Like already that would be impossible. Like how many people are here? Like I don't know how many. So what's this? Let's just say let's say there's 15 of you. Let's say there's 15 of you who are signed up for School of Smash. Even if I only spent 1 hour individually with all of you, that's 15 hours out of the week, which is a crazy amount of time. So it doesn't really like mathematically work out, especially if there's a few more people start joining. So that's why I want to try and keep it as efficient, but as helpful as possible. So I hope you guys really found the lecture helpful. But let me know if you watch these lectures and you're like, man, that lecture actually just sucked. Let me know. Let me know. Like if you've done a Metafy session with someone and you're like, shit, you know what? I'm so much better off spending whatever much it is on a Metafy lesson than spending whatever you would get in the equivalent over here. Let me know why. Let me know why and what I can do better. $100%. Nice. What you guys posting in here? Oh, note gang, nice. Yeah, I'll do a section for lecture notes. Whoa, Casimir got hella notes. That's sick. Nice. You almost always air dodge and disadvantage and you spot. Oh, these are your habits you're going to work on? Yes, I really hope everyone has their habits. I'm doing a great job so far. Thank you so much. Oh, I've tapped my headphones and I made a weird sound. Because you aren't just answering our questions, but I'm learning from what other people are asking. Yeah, Sammy, that's the benefit. That's the benefit of these group things, hey. That is a benefit because it's like maybe your brain doesn't actually just think of a question to ask, but someone else's brain comes up with it and it's something that you're interested in knowing as well. It's like you get the knowledge of like 20 people asking good questions compared to just your own. But thank you so much, Benjamin. That actually means that means a lot, guys. It means a lot if it's going quite well for you, because obviously this is a pretty crazy concept. And there were obviously some people on the video as well being like, man, this is such a scam. No way I would ever pay for School of Smash. But like, I'm confident I can do a good job. And with the help of you guys, and I think I can do a really good job as well. How good do you think you'll do against MKLeo? I mean, I'm super rusty. Here's the thing that's like, there's a difference between being able to know and being able to play, if that makes sense. Like, Michael Jordan is not the best basketball coach in the world at all. But like, people like, no, you're not even gonna, but like, the best coaches aren't the best players and stuff like that. But I feel like if I had time, like, if you give me, you let me live with MKLeo for 2 weeks, I think I could do all right versus MKLeo, 100%. You give me, like, I just sit with MKLeo and I get to play him for like 2 weeks, and yeah. The best example of that is last. Wait, what do you mean by that? Who's last? Oh, he's the coach of Team Liquid? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the same concept still applies. And I'm more than happy to kind of sacrifice my actual in-game abilities and time I'm taking from myself kind of grinding away at the game to do this, because I think this is really fun and it will have a much bigger impact. But I am still going to try and get good at Smash Bros. But yeah. Yeah, huge rip, Leo. Do not clip that. Do not. How dare you? Look, I live with Leo for 2 weeks and I get to just play him non-stop. I'm getting his ass. I'm not beating him like constantly, but I'm taking some games. He's an O tour but coaches the best players in the world. Yeah, exactly. That's very interesting. That's cool. But that's what it's like. It's a different, it's different. It's like you only have so much time in life. And it's going to be different, the person who can kind of work out and analyze ways forward compared to the person who actually grinds or puts in the time and actively works on the ways forward, even if he doesn't figure out the ways himself, if that makes sense. I've talked to Riddles about it, and that's why. Also, Riddles doesn't have Metafire himself because he feels like he's probably not a good coach. He isn't good at teaching others. Yeah, it's a different skill set. And that's why I'm really grateful for you guys who kind of understand that. Like, I'm not ranked top 5 in the world, but I feel like I can coach really well. Like, I literally have. I didn't even realize this until I looked back, but I had a DM from, do you guys know Mezcore, like the Ridley player? I think they're top 100 in the world. But I had a DM from them when I released my Mind of YouTube videos. And it's him being like, yo, these videos are so helpful, where they let me grind and like helped me so much. I was like, oh shit, that's so cool. Can we pin this? I'll make a note section. You wanted to go with Zero, but he's too expensive. Oh, Zero coaches on Metafire? How much is it? Hang on, I have a DM from EDM. Let me have a look at this. Okay. He does private training. How much is that? Is it like one-on-one? This is why I don't know if you guys saw the video. You probably did. That's why you're here. But like, it's just like, it's a weird ratio of like, if you're gonna get one-on-one advice and it's gonna be good advice, it's then gonna have to be expensive to make it worth it for that person who's giving you the advice. Like, I learned how to read English before I have any memories of literally existing. So when I was on like pre-K, pre-kindergarten, is that what that means? The teachers wanted me to help other kids reading, and I didn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, it's different. It's a different skill set, right? It's literally a different skill set. Because you're like, yeah, I know how to read. Yeah, you do it by reading, dumbass. Look, it says cat. Like, how are you supposed to teach that? It's a different skill set. It's hundreds of dollars per session. Yeah, that's nuts. That is nuts. So many Metafile lessons are expensive and great for short term. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the whole point where I thought I could create a better system than one-on-one lessons that let you get better in for one day, or like it's not like they let you get better for one day, but they let you get better based on how good you are on one day. That's how you got me with your sales pitch, lol. I felt weird making that video, but it's like, it's just genuine. It was like, it's just genuine, but it is kind of like a sales pitch, but I believe in it. And I hope this lecture kind of gives you guys like a good fundamental start to start making changes and not plateauing. Yeah, and there's a group of people who are all in the same page. That's absolutely amazing that you guys are doing friendlies with voice chats on and stuff as well. That's so cool. But yeah, I should head off, guys. I'm supposed to be recording with EDM literally right now, and I need to respond to him or he's gonna get mad at me. Probably. But yeah. Thank you guys so much. I feel like that was really successful. It seems like you guys were able to learn a lot from that. And yeah, because I was kind of nervous. That was the first one, you know what I mean? Great first lecture. Thank you so much. So remember, guys, the habits by next week. Work on that habit. Everyone's going to work on their habit, and we're all going to come back next week and see how it went. Have a good one. I'm excited for the future. Awesome, me too. All right, goodbye, everyone.